All right, here we are at the park. Doug is jumping rope.
What's up, everybody? I did some pull-ups. I did 10 real pull-ups too, not just chin-ups. But next time we'll do chin-ups.
And you're at over 1,000 jump rope. Sam Garcia just joined.
What's up, Sam Garcia?
So what do we have? And then coach is here.
And I have a
Coach
question
Dave.
for you, Dougie. From, first of all, who is probably the best corner man going?
My favorite corner man, one of the best. He was under the radar. He was underrated. Dean Hamilton. But thanks to Showbox and their commentators and their producers, he's known a little bit.
And commentators usually talk about how bad the cornermen are.
Rightfully so.
And they were talking about, hey, this guy, they didn't even know his name at the time, is the best, and he is.
He really is.
But he has a question for you.
Okay. Dean Hamilton.
What's Dean's question?
Team Ruben Villa.
What exactly?
Checking in.
Who's fighting for the title in a few weeks?
WBO featherweight title against Emmanuel Navarrete.
Yeah.
It's a terrific matchup.
It's a great
50-50 on paper. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So his question is, what's happening with Garcia, Ryan Garcia's fight? Have you heard anything?
Looks like late November.
You think it's going to happen?
Oh yeah, both sides have agreed to terms. They just need to find the right date, the right venue, and the right place.
Is that going to be affected by the lawsuit with?
Right now, it doesn't look that way.
No, Golden Boy will still get dates.
Yeah, because they're coming back. It's on the schedule. They're coming back in October.
Canelo seemed like he just sued everybody.
Yeah, Jaime Munguia versus Toriano Johnson.
That's
Okay,
good.
it's a good fight.
Crossroads middleweight match that has.
Munguia moved to
written
middleweight.
all over it.
Munguia moved to middleweight.
Yes, he is at middleweight now. He abdicated his WBO title at junior middleweight.
That's the guy that the Nevada Athletic Commission with Bob Bennett wouldn't approve for Triple G.
That shows you how they view Triple G.
They put Triple G
Everybody
on a whole
criticizes
different level. A guy that was undefeated,
Nobody-
28-0 with 25 knockouts.
That's how you know a guy is good.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Not only that, but he's also made world champions vacate their titles to avoid fighting him.
Yeah.
That was a lucky break for Munguia.
Which is pretty
It was.
historic.
He got a title.
Because he was the top-rated junior middleweight at the...
Well, that year, or the previous year, he was Ring Magazine's Prospect of the Year.
Right.
So Bob Bennett rejected the Prospect of the Year, which he shouldn't have done. And, I think Munguia proved himself to at least to be a world-class junior middleweight.
Right. But now he's... so now this will be his middleweight debut?
He's definitely staked his claim at 160 pounds, and Toriano Johnson is a terrific veteran, gatekeeper, fringe contender. And just go ask the Irish kid, Jason Quigley, if you're not 100%, if you're not ready for Toriano, man, he's like a freak.
Toriano can still fight. Like you said, he's a wily veteran.
Yeah. But he's a physical task for
So
anybody.
that should be a good matchup.
That is a good match. So that's a Golden Boy show.
So when is that?
Gonna be
That's
at
coming
Fantasy
up
Springs.
October?
Yeah, October. I forget the exact date, but that's in October, and that's on DAZN, and that's Golden Boy. So they're still doing shows.
Okay.
And from what I hear, Ryan Garcia, sometime in November, maybe early December.
So you don't think the Ryan Garcia situation is going to be affected by the lawsuit from Canelo? From Golden Boy and DAZN?
No, right now I don't think so.
Okay. Well, that was the headline news.
If it were to be affected by the Canelo situation, I think that would be tragic because this young man is just entering his prime, and this is the fight. The fight against Luke Campbell is the fight where he could really prove
that's a solid fight.
That he's an elite level lightweight, and he needs to do that. And it's possible that the fight can land in the UK where they can maybe have like a limited audience even. So we'll see.
It's hard for me to read these names because of the sunlight. Someone saying, hey, Dougie, the return of our boy Joette.
Gonzalez looked good.
Pressure breaks pipes.
Yeah, Mariaga.
Yeah, so he had a good performance.
He did, yeah. It took him a couple rounds to warm up, about three rounds, and by the fourth round, he was in his rhythm, which is, stalking with the high guard. Okay, stalking with the high guard, getting into like mid-range, body, head. But he worked a stiff jab, left to the body, right hand, left to the body, stiff jab, right to the body, left hook, but body, head, body, head, body, head. And I got to be honest with you, I thought by the 8th round, Mariaga had the fight beat out of him. And I thought, I don't know if you agree, Coach, I thought maybe the corner could have stopped it.
I thought they were going to stop it.
I didn't. The final 6 minutes, did he need to take that beating? I don't think so. And I think Mariaga might be done as even a fringe contender. If he comes back, it'll be as a stepping stone, unfortunately. But the corner, I think the corner and the referee, I think they let that fight go too long. To me, the fight was over by the midway mark, and by the 8th round, to me, Mariaga was out of it. Not just physically, but mentally and spiritually. He wasn't trying to win. He was out of it, and he just took a beating. And you hate to see that.
There seemed to be some controversy over the Ugas decision. I didn't see that fight. How did
terrible decision.
How did you see that fight?
Listen, like everybody else, like any sane person, Ugas should have won that fight clearly, like 8 rounds to 4, right? And that's being,
that seemed to be the general
generous
consensus.
To the other guy. That's being generous. I think Marcos Villegas, who's the unofficial scorer for Fox, had it a shutout for Ugas. But Lou Moret, one of the California judges, had it, I think, 9 rounds to 3 for the other guy. And then the other doctor, he needs a doctor maybe. An eye doctor? I don't know. Optometrist. But the other 2 judges had it 7 rounds to 5 for Ugas. So the right man won. But even 7 rounds to 5 is giving too much credit to the other guy.
We've seen some controversial scoring recently. One comes to mind is a fight I was involved with, the Cecilia Brækhus McCaskill fight.
I thought Cecilia won that fight.
You had Cecilia winning,
I had 6
to 4?
rounds to 4, but I thought
okay.
It could have been 7 rounds to 3. But I thought, being fair to McCaskill, who brought the fight, she was very aggressive. She never stopped swinging. But I just thought the jabs and right hands and the connect rate, clean punch connect rate from Brækhus gave her the edge after 10 rounds. And if you look at the total punches landed, McCaskill was supposed to be the volume puncher who did
but
throw
Cecilia
more punches.
had more punches landed.
Yeah, I think it was about the same.
I saw a stat it was more, but it was.
But Cecilia was just more accurate.
I think the thing there is effective aggression is what you need to score.
And I don't think that McCaskill's aggression was always effective. Sometimes it was.
So it looks like Cecilia's going to exercise her rematch clause.
If that
not
rematch
officially
is made,
yet, but that's the way it's trending because she wants to get her titles back.
If that rematch is made, because we now have female rankings.
Yeah.
McCaskill and Brækhus are numbers 1 and 2
okay.
in Ring Magazine's welterweight rankings, which means the vacant inaugural women's welterweight championship would be on the line.
There you go. That would be big. And because it was controversial in the first fight, I think that's going to get a lot of attention if that rematch happens.
And I think the rematch can be better because I think with Brækhus being the more experienced veteran, with far more fights, 36 pro fights under her belt, I think having like a 6-month camp and kind of starting and stopping, I think that always affects the more experienced fighter. In my opinion, in my experience, that always affects them. So I think with a better camp and her being fresher, I think they can. And McCaskill's going to bring it.
Either way that goes, if that rematch happens, that'll be a great fight, greatly anticipated
it will.
fight as well.
I think it's going to be an easy fight for Cecilia. And just what Doug said, she got stale maybe training for so long, off and on.
I don't know if you can say easy. McCaskill gave Katie Taylor a tough fight also, so you can't take anything away from Jessica McCaskill. She definitely fought a great fight. I just didn't think she.
Cecilia definitely won this fight. It was close, but I thought she won.
I thought she won. I thought Cecilia won as well. But that's what a rematch Would be 4. Then what other fights do we got coming up? You were talking earlier, Doug, about Loma Teofimo. That's a good fight
right.
coming up.
The top-ranked ESPN schedule in October is excellent. We already talked about Ruben Villa taking on Emmanuel Navarrete.
Right.
Navarrete is coming up from 122 pounds, but he was a giant for the junior featherweight weight class. He might be stronger at 126. And he's like Antonio Margarito, good chin, volume puncher, which is difficult for boxers, and that's what Villa is. He's a southpaw technician boxer. So we'll see who can impose whose will and style. You have the lightweight championship, Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez. I think it's a great matchup. I think Lomachenko is as good as it gets in boxing. He's a champion's champion. He's got incredible experience for just having 15 pro fights. Obviously, his amateur background is legendary. And Teofimo is just a physical specimen, a dynamic boxer, puncher, counter-puncher, tremendous athlete, the naturally bigger man and the fresher fighter. So what happens, I have no idea, but it's a great lightweight championship. It's not pay-per-view. It's on ESPN. That's really good for the sport. That's healthy for the sport.
It's great exposure. The ESPN platform and the Fox platform is great.
They're talking about maybe having that in the new stadium. Some people
that one? I think that's going to be in the bubble.
I think so, but I've read a few things. They're trying.
I think it's coming up too soon.
It depends on when Nevada or Las Vegas opens up for fans.
Maybe they will by October. Who knows?
But then on the football, football.
Football is partially open. Kansas City had fans.
Okay.
Yeah, Kansas City had fans there. So
but that's Missouri.
L.A. The Rams are playing the Cowboys today here at the new SoFi Stadium.
Yeah, but no
fans.
Right.
No fans in L.A.
But we'll see. I mean, it would be great if there'd be at least some media and some fans there. At the end of next month, on Halloween, Naoya Inoue, Ring Magazine's bantamweight champion, is defending his belts against Jason Maloney.
That's a good fight.
It's a top 5 contender from Australia.
Yeah, that's a good fight.
Good fight on paper, good matchup, lots of excitement, a lot of action. So
who promoted his only fight in the U.S. so far?
Oh, this guy right here.
His first fight.
The U.S. debut.
That was on our Superfly show. Yeah.
Did you know the first look that American fans and media had of Inoue was even before his pro debut, his U.S. debut? He came to visit one of
that's right. He came to the forum.
Fights.
Came to the forum. I think he came. Yeah, he came to Chocolatito's fight when. But I think it was a Triple G headliner, and Chocolatito fought. On that one, or it could have been the Superfly.
Was that when Chocolatito fought Williams?
Could have been Williams Moroyo at the forum, but yeah, he came to one of our shows at the forum, and he got swarmed by a lot of fans that recognized him. And
even members of the media got all on Twitter and were like schoolgirls.
Yep. No, Inoue is a great
pictures with them and
great fighter.
I was like, man, he's got some charisma.
Yep, absolutely.
He's got something.
Yep, the monster.
Got an aura.
Triple G is a monster of middleweight division, and Inoue is the monster.
And Chocolatito was, is, and always will be the king.
All-time great. Chocolatito is an all-time great.
And fighter of the decade, in my opinion.
No. I can't argue with that. Can't argue with that.
No,
Coach.
He reminds me of Soar.
Who?
Soar.
So Rungvisai.
Oh, so Rungvisai.
They sort of have the same demeanor.
Yeah.
Rungvisai also is I mean, the matchups we had on those Superfly shows, it was interchangeable. Any of those guys would fight each other, and it was all great. Then we have, keep an eye out for Sorey Boachuk. We should have some announcement this week for his next upcoming fight.
El Flaco.
El Flaco should be fighting at the end of September, so we'll have an announcement for him. He
I
sparred
know
with.
He's been training his ass off.
He sparred with who was the guy you were commentating?
Oh man, Saul Bustos.
Bustos, right?
I had no idea
that
Bustos
was
had sparred with Boachuk. Had I known that, I would have strongly favored Bustos.
That was on the Thompson show, right? How did that go with the bubble and everything like
great.
that?
The Thompson bubble is very successful. They got a great program.
Mm-hmm.
The fights, you know what? It's weird. There was 3 fights. They just do 3 fights. Get it over quick. Get the fighters in the ring. Good matchups. But on my official scorecard, one side shut out the other side. But they were all good fights.
Got it. But competitive fights.
Yeah,
right?
they were competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bustos beat a guy named Luis Lopez from Corona. He's a Henry Ramirez trained fighter.
Okay.
Both guys were unbeaten welterweight prospects. but it was entertaining.
There's a difference between a
All the rounds
shutout,
were competitive and close, but I had Bustos with the edge.
but competitive, right?
Yes.
That's the key
Hey,
factor
tell us
there.
And Bustos, and by the way, Bustos looks like a real guy. Like he's someone to look out for. He's the kind of fighter I think.
Thompson always has up and coming guys.
Exactly. You always
They
see a
produce
glimpse of
with
the future.
Alex Campanova and everything. They produce a lot of
They
talent
know what
over
they're
there.
doing.
Yeah.
I think in a year, like this is a guy who could be a legit contender.
He was good.
If
Tell
he
us
can
about
continue
the
fighting.
ring announcer.
Oh, Lupe Contreras,
He good?
the voice.
Voice.
That's his Spanish nickname.
What's the voice?
El Voz.
Yeah.
Laz.
He's got the best voice.
And like Fernando Vargas,
Yeah.
El Feroz.
Yeah, El Feroz.
Right? There you go.
Yeah, but this guy is not ferocious. This guy is the epitome of serenity.
Okay.
He's just like he's.
You said he wasn't
cool,
sweating.
collected,
And
super-
everything-
Was that outdoors or indoors? That event?
Indoors,
Indoors.
and it was
Okay.
over 110 degrees.
Wow.
At one point, it was 111 degrees
And he doesn't-
inside.
Couldn't get them to turn on the
outside,
AC.
Outside, 118. What was that?
Couldn't get them to turn on the AC, or was
There
that
is
the
no
AC?
It's a giant wheelhouse. But they made it look really nice.
Well, that's
I mean,
good.
did
No, they do a great job at Thompson.
Yeah, and we had
Thompson
little
shows.
fans at our desk, so
Okay.
I didn't really feel it while we were doing the announcing because the fan immediately evaporates your
Right.
sweat.
The cooling effect.
But the
yeah.
moment you step away from that, just pouring sweat. Crazy.
So, Coach, you got some questions for Doug today?
You have questions, yeah.
All right. You got nicknames, or what do you have?
I have nicknames.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a nice mask, by the way. I like that mask.
I love this.
Do you know someone over there?
Breathe through the side.
It is.
360 Promotions.
My old one is suffocating. Okay. How about Randy Turpin?
Randy Turpin.
Oh,
Nickname.
He was a British middleweight legend in the Hall of Fame. He beat Sugar Ray Robinson. Only the second man to do so.
To beat
What's
Ray
the
Robinson.
What's his nickname?
Oh, Randy. Jeez.
Randy Turpin.
The turnip. He was a turnip farmer right outside of London. No, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
What is it? No,
Most
I
people
know.
haven't even heard of Randy Turpin, so
You never heard of him?
I haven't heard of him.
Oh,
no.
my
he was
God.
he was a great British.
That was
middleweight.
before my time.
Yeah. Yeah, he
No,
I'm
he
not a
beat- he
historian
beat-
like-
listen,
I'm not a
he beat
historian
prime-
like Doug.
He beat a prime middleweight version of Sugar Ray Robinson.
Okay,
and
that's
gave him
a
hell
huge
in
accomplishment.
their rematch at the Polo Grounds
Yeah.
in New York.
Did he lose the rematch?
He did lose the rematch,
Okay.
But he cut Robinson, and he was difficult. It was a
Beating
hard fight.
Sugar Ray once is a huge
Oh yeah,
accomplishment.
no, he was a.
So what's his nickname, Coach?
The Leamington Liquor.
The what?
I don't know if you would have a nickname like that.
No,
Yeah.
they wouldn't allow it.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Back in the day, if you could lick someone, means you could beat them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you like to lick
Yeah.
people.
Okay, how about Rocky Graziano?
Rocky Graziano.
Close.
The Rock?
Very good.
The
Got it.
Rock.
There you go. Okay, there you go.
Graziano, another guy that Robinson fought
Rock.
in the I think the early 50s, maybe
How
1952.
about Jackie Wilson?
California.
California Kid?
California.
Or just California?
California Jackie Wilson.
You know why he was California?
California Jackie Wilson.
Because there was other Jackie Wilsons from other parts
Oh,
of the
okay.
country, but he was
Alright.
the best.
All right.
Robinson fought him as well,
Okay, how about
and they were in the army.
California
together,
Kid is in the UFC.
too. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, was that what's that guy's name? Faber, Uriah Faber.
Yep, that's right.
remember him.
Very good, Doug.
Holy cow.
You look at your UFC knowledge
MMA
coming
knowledge,
through
not
the
too
MMA.
shabby, huh?
That's
How
right.
about Ralph Jones?
Tiger.
Got it.
These are middleweights.
Tiger Ralph Jones?
And I already know the theme is they all fought Ray Robinson,
You got it.
and
Oh,
Tiger
okay.
beat
He
him.
beat him.
Tiger beat him
Big,
because it
huge
was right.
upset. Oh my God.
It was after Robinson retired after failing to win the light heavyweight title against Joey Maxim. He was gone for 3 years, came back and beat like a club fighter, and then he fought Tiger Jones, who was a contender, and Jones beat him.
There you
Okay,
go.
so speaking of Joey Maxim, what's his real name?
Joey
Oh,
Maxim.
It's something really Italian sounding.
You got it. Exactly.
Giuseppe,
You got it. That's
Giuseppe Maximiliano or something. Right?
Exactly. Oh, you know.
All those guys changed.
it. That's
Yeah,
it.
I don't know if that's the case. Yeah, I'm guessing. but-
Giuseppe Bernardelli.
That's pretty Italian.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
right?
that's
That is
pretty
pretty
authentic.
I'll give you that
Yeah.
one, Doug.
Well,
That
Rocky
was good.
Marciano's not. His name isn't Rocky Marciano.
Okay, what's Bobo Olson's real name?
Boba
Carl.
Olson.
Carl.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, Carl.
Okay. How
Tremendous.
about Gene Fulmer? What's his nickname?
Oh, shoot. Was he a Mormon?
Mean Gene? It's not Mean Gene Fulmer?
Mean Gene's pretty good.
No?
He was mean. I mean, he was a nice guy.
Yeah.
Mean in the
Where
ring.
is he from?
Utah. Yeah.
Was he
I
Mormon?
have a fighting Mormon.
Gene Foreman, Mormon? Oh, the Cyclone.
Cyclone or the Utah Cyclone?
Just the Cyclone.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How about Garth Cantor?
Garth who?
You ever heard of
I have heard.
Garth Cantor? He was a big TV fighter.
I've heard of Garth Brooks.
His record's 60 wins, 27 losses.
Garth Cantor. Okay, what's his nickname, Doug?
The Panther.
The Panther Cantor. Where's he
No one
from?
else has the same nickname.
Do you know where he's from?
I don't.
I don't know where. I've
He's
never heard
like
of Garth
the-
Cantor.
Idaho.
Yeah, I don't think he was a ring-rated contender.
No, he wasn't, but he fought Ray Robinson.
Yeah, no, Robinson fought everybody.
The toy bulldog.
Toy
Oh
Bulldog.
yeah.
Okay, so speaking of
Mickey
Joey,
Walker had that nickname.
speaking of Joey Maxim,
Yeah.
okay, so when he won the fight against Sugar Ray,
Yeah.
okay, what happened in his next 4 fights?
Joey Maxim.
Yeah, after he won. Well, let me
Probably lost the title to Archie Moore. And then probably tried to regain the title against Archie Moore and lost again.
You got it. he lost 3 fights to Archie Moore.
Yeah.
But one of the fights he had 4 fights right after Sugar Ray. And he
Okay.
lost 3 of them,
Okay.
all to Archie Moore.
Wow. Yeah, and they
Okay.
might have all been title bouts too.
And
Or maybe one of them was a non-title.
That might have been one guy he couldn't
what was
beat.
the one guy that...
I tell you what, nobody can knock out Maxim.
And what was the one... Yeah, this one guy that did knock out Maxim.
Oh,
He got KO'd once. You want to tell me who that is?
it wasn't Ezra Charles, was it?
No.
Because Charles couldn't knock him out either.
No. And I want you to
Was
name
this
the guy,
guy-
and I want his nickname. And he fought
What
this
year?
guy 3 times.
What year was that?
Elmer Ray?
No.
Was
It was
it,
on March 10th,
This guy,
1943.
did this
1943.
man who knocked out, oh, so it's early.
No, this guy knocked Maxim out.
Yeah, this guy who knocked out Maxim, did he ever win a world title?
No.
Was
He
he a
knocked-
contender?
That I can't tell you. I don't think so. But he knocked him
fight
out
other guys? Did he fight
51 seconds of the first round. No, he was a big puncher. But he lost the other 2 fights to Maxim.
Artie Levine?
Curtis Shepard.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of Curtis Shepard.
Yeah,
he did fight a lot of guys, yeah.
They all fought a lot of guys.
I don't know if he
what's
was
his
ever in the
nickname?
top 10, but he was
Yeah. But
from like middleweight to light
Yeah,
heavyweight,
but he
maybe
was a
even
big
heavyweight.
banger.
Yeah,
What's his nickname?
I don't know. Idea.
Big Bang.
Hatchet Man.
Hatchet Man.
Oh, the Hatchet Man. I like that one.
Remember the featherweight who knocked out Nonito?
Yeah, that was on one of our shows also.
Yeah, it was. What,
Okay, so...
was that a Golovkin? I think that was.
That was a
co-feature
Triple
to
G.
Golovkin
Yep.
and
Yep.
Rubio.
Okay,
Yep,
here's
that's
another
right.
guy that fought Sugar Ray. Bernard Dukeson. I want to know his nickname. I want to know his brother's name and his nickname.
Wait.
They were big
What's his
fighters.
last name?
Dukeson.
Dukeson.
The Dukeson brothers.
Dukeson
Bernard
brothers.
and
The-
Maxie Dukeson.
I'm going to say the Duke.
You got it.
Oh, that's pretty
There you
good.
go.
Yeah.
Just like John Wayne.
No, he was the big Duke. What was his
Oh, the
brother's
big
name?
Duke. The little Duke.
You got it.
Little Dookie.
Little Duke.
That's his
He
rap
was
name.
like a year younger.
Okay.
They were big fighters out here.
Little
All right.
Dookie.
Oh,
Oh,
here-
they're LA guys?
Here goes Doug on the.
Did you watch him?
Here goes Doug on the pull-up
Oh,
bar.
Orleans, yeah. Okay.
But they did fight here a lot.
Oh, like the Dupas.
My dad used to go watch them all the time.
D-U-P-A-S?
D-U-C-O-S.
But there was also a guy named Ralph Dupas from
Ralph
New
Dupas.
Orleans. Yeah.
Yeah, D-U-P-A-S from New
Yeah.
Orleans.
There's a guy from France, Duhalpus.
Yeah, right. The heavyweight.
Yep, heavyweight.
How about...
I think we had him for sparring for Vladimir.
Really?
What
Yep.
was Joe Rendon's nickname?
Joey Rendon.
Yeah, and where's he from? And he fought Sugar Ray also.
Is that any relation to Joey Ramone?
I think they're good friends. Joe Rendon.
Rendon, yeah, I've heard that. I've seen that name in record
From
books.
Boston.
Oh, do you have one of those? Look at that. The inversion thing?
Oh.
Yeah.
Ava does that.
Does she really? Help you back?
But
What's his
Bernard
first-
Dukeson had a really
Is that the Big Duke?
the big Duke.
Mm-hmm.
He was really good, and he gave Sugar Ray a really tough fight. Went to a decision.
Hmm.
And then They really thought he was going to win that fight.
The
Wow.
Big Duke. That's a good name for a boat in the Marina Del Rey, Coach. Next time, for your next, when you buy your second boat, you should name it the Big Duke.
That's a party boat.
Oh, yeah. Hey, so you know the two greatest times of owning a boat?
The first day and the last day.
Yeah.
When you buy it and when you sell it. Did you know that, Doug?
Yeah. The best thing to do
Yeah,
when
if you have
own a
some big
boat,
luxury boat.
the best thing is when you sell it.
Now, Joey Rendone.
You know
I don't know
Greg.
his nickname.
You know Greg Hanley, right? The
Yeah, of course,
manager,
yeah. He used to manage Bones Adams.
Bones Adams. That's right.
And
Bones.
he ran the Prince Ranch.
That's right. Prince Ranch up
Yeah.
in Vegas, and also he manages one of our favorite fighters.
Oh, the most exciting man in boxing.
That's right.
Flair.
I
The
sent
Flair.
you that
Yes.
video.
He has a
Woo!
Yeah, Blair the Flair. Saw him on Greg's boat in the marina. So
I'm looking forward to seeing him after maybe another month or so of training with Freddie Roach. I'd like to see what Freddie does with that kind of talent.
He'll tighten him up.
Yeah,
Blair fights at he fights at welterweight, right?
welterweight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a fighter. He did not fight Sugar Ray, but he reminds me of Sugar Ray.
Okay.
Okay.
And I want to know his nickname.
What division did he
He
fight?
was a welterweight.
Welterweight also.
Edgemond Lewis.
No, but he reminds me of Sugar Ray too a little bit.
Yeah.
But this guy, this was Johnny Brett.
Oh, Johnny Bratton.
Johnny Bratton.
Honey Boy.
You got it.
Woo!
Honey Boy. Who else
Who would've
was?
got that?
Who else was?
Who
Honey.
among the active boxing writers would know that Johnny Bratton?
That's a tough one.
Honey
Hey,
Boy.
wait, and who
Woo!
was his biggest fan?
Miles Davis.
Got it. Yeah.
Miles Davis. There you go. Crossover with
Bratton
entertainment.
was a hell of a fighter.
Lou Duval was Honey Boy also.
That's right, he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of the Bronx.
That's right. Out of the Bronx.
Pretty good trainer now.
Yeah.
Honey Boy.
Well,
Talks
Johnny
like this.
Brett was so good, so smooth.
Yeah.
Wow.
Real tall, and rangy for a welterweight. And you're right. He had that Sugar Ray style.
And he looked
Right.
like him too.
Yeah.
Sort of, you know, really
And they
smooth
did the
looking,
hair,
yeah.
and he liked to dress up,
Yeah.
and he had an entourage.
You need the entourage.
Well, that's who Bundini worked with Bratton first,
Yeah. Oh.
and then
Bratton-
he worked with Sugar Ray Robinson.
Sugar Ray, and then he went
to
with
Cactus
Ali.
Clutch. That's right.
Did you see that Bundini Brown
The
documentary?
was
Yeah.
based on the book. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm reading the book.
I think you're the
now.
one that sent it to me. That's a great documentary.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was a great. I got to send that to a couple of my friends,
Yeah.
like Harlan, who
You can
worked with
borrow the
Ali
book.
for a long
Yeah,
time.
I'm almost done with it. So.
Hey, so did Johnny Bratton also have a voice teacher?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I know Robinson did.
He did.
But doesn't that make sense because Robinson married a showgirl, like a professional dancer, singer, entertainer.
Entertainment.
And
There
back
you go.
then, if you're an entertainer, you got to be able to do it all. You got to be able to act, sing, dance.
You got to sell tickets. Back then was a big ticket sales were a big part of the revenue. Triple G sold
that
out.
was the revenue. The gate
Right.
was everything. When
Right.
Robinson started out, 1940, the gate was everything. That's all Robinson ever worried about. And obviously by the 50s, TV had come in and things changed and all. But Robinson put butts in the seats before he ever turned pro. Robinson's amateur bouts, when he fought for an amateur championship like New York Golden Glove,
He would sell out the Garden.
Right. Breland was
Mark
a star.
Mark,
as an
Mark
amateur.
Blean was a star. Yeah, as an amateur.
Star
Yeah.
as an amateur,
Yep.
yep.
That's one thing that
Almost
was
never happens anymore.
that's one thing that was underestimated with Triple G's career. What we developed was he would sell out in New York arenas at the Garden. He would sell out here in LA with StubHub and the Forum. Sold out Vegas naturally with Canelo. The Triple.
Remember that guy he sold out at the Forum with that couldn't fight?
Well, he sold out twice at the Forum. He sold out against Dominic Wade.
Dominic Wade. Right.
Dominic Wade and Willie Monroe. That was a mandatory. That was an IBF
Willie
mandatory
Monroe's good.
against Dominic Wade, and Willie Monroe is a slick fighter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he sold out the Forum. Those shows broke the record at
Nobody
StubHub.
will ever look as good as Triple G did against Willie Monroe.
Willie Monroe. Yeah,
It's
he
impossible to look good against Willie Monroe.
dismantled Willie Monroe. And also one thing that was underestimated was his HBO debut against the European champion, who's a very slick southpaw, and he dismantled Proxa.
Folks, so yeah.
And he also sold out the O2 arena
against
Kell Brook in London. So
and people gave him a lot of shit. Hardcore idiots gave him a lot of shit, and the WBA gave him shit for fighting Brook. The WBA wouldn't sanction
the fans who criticize that fight should criticize both Billy Joe Saunders, who was offered the fight in his home country, and Chris Eubank Jr., who was offered the fight in his own country, and both turned down the fight.
At the time that the WBA said Kell Brook can't fight for the WBA middleweight title,
he was the highest rated welterweight.
But the number one, undefeated, number one rated welterweight, but the number one rated WBA middleweight contender was this nobody, man. This dude who used to fight on Golden Boys cards at the Nokia Club. Can't even think of his name.
Who you're saying Kell Brook would have easily beaten?
This dude got knocked out in one round by Hassan Endam.
Oh, Hassan Endam, right.
He made Endam was already past his prime, long in the tooth. This cat made Endam look like Ray Robinson.
That's another person that vacated a title
Endam
to avoid fighting Triple G.
And that's who the number one contender. So think about this. If Hassan Endam is not going to cat out in one round, what does Triple G do to this dude?
That's not competitive.
So the guy who wouldn't
not competitive.
Martinez.
Sergio Martinez,
wouldn't fight Triple G.
He wouldn't. He might have. Sergio might have, but his promoter Lou definitely wouldn't put him in against. And he was the number one rated middleweight at the time, and they still wouldn't fight Triple G.
I'll tell you a fight I would make right now. I'd love to see it. Is Oscar against Sergio Martinez.
Oscar against Sergio? That's a good fight.
It's a good fight.
They're talking about a rematch with Sergio and Chavez Jr.
That'd be a good fight too.
Well, in the walkout bout, we could have an exhibition between De La Hoya and Chavez Sr.
There you go.
The Senior stayed in shape.
Senior's in shape, yeah.
Good,
definitely.
No, but how about Oscar against Jr.? Chavez Jr. I like that.
That's a good fight too.
Yep.
I'm the only guy that wants to see Oscar fight. I think it's
hey, if Oscar wants to fight, look, I think he's got plenty of money. But if he wants to fight, then more power to him. He can stay in shape, and he was a tremendous fighter when he was beating Felix Trinidad and Corte, and it was very close with Obakar until Richard Steele took away 2 points from Oba in one round, and then he kind of fell apart after that. But
no one's going to have an easy time with Obakar.
No, Oba was
he's not
from the Kronk School of Boxing, and Eddie Carr.
Yeah, he just came at a time when all the belt holders were incredible.
Yeah, when you got champions like Oscar, Ike Corte, and Felix Trinidad, all three who we lost to, you can't criticize that. No. But he beat everyone else besides those three champions.
Looked great against, even as he got older and heavier, he looked great against Yuri Boy Compass.
Beat Yuri Boy, who was trained by Abel at the time, Abel Sanchez, yeah. And he looked great against, remember, he beat Frankie Randall.
Oh, yeah.
To get the Oscar fight.
I used to watch him. He used to train at the LA Boxing Club.
Yeah, no, Oba was tremendous talent.
We better get
all right, Coach. All right, I guess we'll wrap up here. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry if I didn't see any questions or comments, but it's kind of bright here in the LA sunshine.
Thanks
all
for
right,
joining
we're gonna
us,
sign off. Tune in, and we should have some announcements this week, both on Breakhouse and on Boachuk.
Awesome.
All right. Okay. See you guys later.
Adios.
Say bye, Dave. Bye.
Adios.
Dave has a new cat named Tucker. He's proud of his new cat. He'll be training his cat. All right, Doug.